Indonesia has long been the go-to haven for digital nomads, soul searchers, and poorly behaved Australians searching for cheap beer and good times. With its untouched nature, its low-cost health retreats, and lower cost of living, it's not surprising it's become a paradise for many. But is that starting to change? With all the Instagram posts, the crowds, the rising prices, some say Indonesia's charm is fading, and that the very magic that people came here for is being lost to tourism itself. So if you're considering an island life with a lower cost of living but a laid-back vibe, maybe you should also consider the Philippines. But in 2025, which place is better? We've come to Bali to compare 15 everyday costs to help you decide which tropical escape is going to give you more beach, more buzz, and more money left in your pocket. We'll show the prices in local currency and US dollars for easy comparison. At the end, we'll tally the score and we'll give you our honest opinion of which place we feel gives you more bang for your buck. So, is Bali overrated? Let's find out. Well, first things first, how much is it going to cost you to enter each country? We're in Bali at the moment, and I'll tell you, it is a bit of a fluff around, and it is quite an expensive country to enter. Within 72 hours of arriving at any Indonesian airport, you must fill in a health pass and a customs declaration. Both of these things can be done online. I'll put the links in the description below. Also, there is a tourism tax, which is around 10 US dollars or 150,000 rupiah. And as a foreigner, I have to pay 30 US dollars or about 500,000 Indonesian rupiah for a visa on arrival. You can actually do that online before you get here. Again, I'll put the link in the description. So it is quite an expensive country to enter, but I think it's worth it. One of the many great things about visiting the Philippines is that visitors from 157 countries around the world receive a free visa on arrival, somewhere between 14 to 30 days, depending on where you're from. Just make sure you have your return ticket to show them at immigration when you arrive.
This bonus total you get is 40 gigabytes.
So 250,000. Okay, cool. Thank you. So 250. And you need passport as well?
Yes, and your phone please.
Wow, all done?
550 copies na siya. Nara siya internet, call and text, 24 GB. Kung screenshot ka nila.
Bali Airport, there's a Grab stand, and for a 4-kilometre ride going to our hotel, it's 130,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about $8 US. We're staying at the Kuta Beach Heritage Hotel by Accor. It's 5-star, 1,050,000 Indonesian rupiah. That is only about 62 US dollars, or about 3,500 pesos, which I'm already looking around and thinking this is probably better than what you're going to get in the Philippines for a 5-star hotel. You'd be paying a little bit more, but let's have a look when we go back to the Philippines. It's really spacious. We've got a king bed, even with a little animal with a doodle poking out of it over there. And the beach is literally just across the way. We can see the beach, we can sit outside, have a beverage. The bathroom, let's check out the bathroom. It's even got a hot tub. Wow, that's pretty special. Complimentary water as you'd expect. The place has a gym. It's got a couple of restaurants, huge swimming pool. That is a huge shitter. Look at the size of that. You could have a party in there. And let's have a check out the shower. That is huge. You could swing multiple cats in there, I reckon. But that's what 62 US dollars gets you. I think we also have a little coffee facility here as well. Let's have a look in here. That's pretty nice. Little hydraulic. Oh shit, I just broke it. And a little ref as well, all tucked away. I reckon that's pretty good value, no? So we've arrived at our room, room 14, which is on the 2nd floor, and apparently gets a sea view. So let's have a look. 3,500 pesos per night, and that includes breakfast as well, right?
Yes.
Let's have a look at the room. So the room comes with a single bed and a really large queen bed. And the bathroom looks pretty good. And then the best bit, I guess, is the sea view from the balcony. We're at Kudabek's Hotel, which is actually right next door to the Heritage where we're staying in Bali, except this place is less than half the price, 475,000 rupiah, which is around about 27 US dollars. Come on and have a look around. Being a little bit cheaper, it doesn't have the same sea view that we have in the Heritage, except you can have a double room with 2 twin beds or a double. It doesn't have the same view, except it does have similar facilities, comes with water. Pretty nice little room considering it is half the price. And this is check out the bathroom as well, which opens, push. I can't read, so decent sized bathroom too. It is hot here in Bantayan Island. We are sweating, but we're in the room, the air conditioning's on, and I have the door open, which is a bit silly, but I wanted to show you the view, which is pretty decent view from outside our room. 2,100 pesos a night, that's around 40 US dollars. Has everything we need. It's got a double bed, the bathroom's pretty nice. It's got a little fridge and a wardrobe. So yeah, it'll be a comfortable stay for 2 nights, especially on a budget. Motorcycle for rent is around about 100,000 rupiah per day. That's about $5.60. I think you can get it for cheaper if you go for a week, but yeah, don't drink and drive. Premium petrol in Indonesia averages around about 12,500 rupiah per litre. That is around about 75 cents American. But you'll have to wait for it. As you can see, they are very busy and very hard to come by. In the Philippines, petrol stations are pretty much on every corner. Here we had to drive 2 kilometers to find a petrol station. 1 litre of premium fuel in the Philippines is going to set you back 57 pesos, which is bang on $1. Noticeably more expensive than Indonesia, and there's a couple of reasons for that. In Indonesia, the government actually subsidizes the cost of petrol, and also they produce more oil than the Philippines. So get more bang for your buck in Indonesia. Service stations in the Philippines really do offer service. They even wash your windows for free. A cheap meal in a warung, which is like a carinderia in the Philippines, is only 39,000 rupiah, which is about $2.30 American, and the beer costs more than actually the food. We're in a carinderia, which is like a little restaurant on the front of someone's house. It's quite cheap, but it's very basic. All this came to 140 pesos, which is about $2.50 US. Kind of different to Indonesia, where they pile all the food onto one plate. Have it on separate plates because Filipinos love to share. This beautiful breakfast in a high-end restaurant is 89,000 rupiah, or around about $5.25 US. A yummy meal at a mid-range restaurant in Bali, 125,000 rupiah, or around about $8. We're at one of our favourite restaurants here in the Philippines, Cebu. It's a place called Bali, which means house. We've ordered the pork adobo dish, which is kind of like a humba that they call in Cebu, is a sticky pork. Very fatty, probably not so good for my arteries, but is damn delicious. Comes with a fried egg and rice underneath, and a token little bit of salad, so I feel good about myself. That is 369 pesos, or around about $6.50 US, and is delicious. Very yummy lunch, and the cats were also very hungry, but that's what you get for feeding the cats. I haven't had a tetanus shot for a while, or rabies. Might see you next time, maybe not.
A beer in a mid-range restaurant, albeit small, 35,000 rupiah or $2 US. Cheers.
A beer, and if you're in the Philippines, it has to be a San Pilsen, 89 pesos or around about $1.60. And the difference in the Philippines is they give you a glass of ice to keep your beer cold, which I'm not a big fan of. In Bali, however, they give you a little beer condom or a stubby cooler to keep your beer cold, which I like. It doesn't dilute my beer.
Bottle of beer at a 7-Eleven, 28,000 rupiah or around about $1.60.
A San Pilsen, which is my favourite beer here in the Philippines, is 53 pesos or about 93 US cents. In the Philippines 10 years ago, you could only get San Pilsen or San Light. There was very few other beers, but now with so many foreigners coming here, you can get German beers, you can get dark beers. There's a huge range, something for everyone, and you can get a beer anywhere. Any 7-Eleven, which is on any corner, you can have a beer, they'll open it for you. You can sit outside, have a cup of noodles, your day's done. An interesting thing to note is that in the Philippines, when you buy a beer at a 7-Eleven or a supermarket, it's around about 50% less than what you'd pay in a restaurant. However, here in Bali, when you buy a beer like a bintang, which is 29,000 rupiah, you go to a restaurant and it's 35, so it's only about 20% more expensive or cheaper if you buy it in the supermarket. So good value for our alcoholic friends in the Philippines. Go to your 7-Eleven or your supermarket, it'll be 50% cheaper.
Bottle of water, 4,500 rupiah or around about 26 cents.
Bottle of water, 8 pesos 75. A beautiful large latte, 55,000 rupiah or around about $3. That's good too. In Bali, to get your smalls laundered, it's only 10,000 rupiah per kilo. That's just 60 cents. And only 33 pesos, which is about 57.5 US cents per kilo to have your washed, dried and folded. And I don't know what detergent they use, but it smells amazing.
Bali sure has a lot of beauty. You just have to be prepared to share it with thousands of other people who are coming here for the same thing. Or be selective with your camera angles.
One of the great things about coming to Asia is the price of massages. You can afford to have a massage every day without breaking the bank. It's just so cheap. In fact, it's kind of disproportionately cheap. When I think back to Australia, I pay $100 an hour for a massage, and a cup of coffee cost me $6. However, here we just bought a iced latte for 72,000 rupiah and just had a 1-hour Balinese traditional massage for 90,000 rupiah, which is about $5.50 US. Disproportionately cheap. I guess the cost of living here is cheaper and the wages are much cheaper as well. The quality of the massage was just okay, but for $5.50, considering the conditions of this place, I was pleasantly surprised. I ended up getting a guy, which was fine. I thought he would be pretty strong, but yeah, overall I thought it was pretty good value. Although he was pretty heavy-handed with the oil. In fact,
yeah, that's what I noticed also. Like they seem like they have an unlimited supply of massage oil.
Yeah, to the point that I actually felt like a turkey that's been basted and ready to be put in the oven for Thanksgiving dinner. Like, to the point where I was actually running down my butt crack, which was not the most pleasant experience. But that's my first world problem for the day. Yeah, I thought that the free prostate exam at the end was a nice touch. I'm only joking. He did that at the start. No, I'm joking. No prostate exams. So the big question, is Bali overrated? Well, that's for you to decide. But for me personally, Bali, Indonesia is still a place which is very rich in history, culture, has a lower cost of living, and has a lot of untouched natural beauty. However, you're going to have to be prepared to share it with thousands of other people that come here for the very same reason. If you love the things that Bali and Indonesia has to offer, I would really urge you to consider the Philippines for your next tropical holiday. The Philippines is a place that is less traveled to, but matches in natural beauty and does offer a lower cost of living. However, I think the difference with the Philippines, and I don't want to be disrespectful to the Indonesian people because they're lovely, the hospitality of the Filipino people outnumbers anywhere in the world. They're the warmest, most generous people, and they will make sure that your trip to the Philippines is fun, meaningful, and memorable. If you've enjoyed this video, or even if you haven't, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us so we can create more content that you might be interested in. Well, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.